This is Platinum versus Platinum. And it looks like we're going to have some TVT action, guys. TVT is the matchup here in game number 1 on the Abyssal Reef. I saw a clan name from Regee here. Guess if his name is Regee. The Purple Terran. And in the bottom right hand corner, the yellow Terran pieces of zzxbx. Otherwise known as Zoller. The Zoller. I don't know. We're going to go with ZZ. ZZX sounds like a good name. ZZX sounds like a really good name. So TVT. Now TVT is a game that could go quite a distance in terms of how long it's going to take. Miharu, this is week number 2 in JSL, my friend. Week number 2, Group C. So TVT, again, as I was saying, like, a game where, like any mirror match, you decide, are you just going to say, no, I don't want to play the mirror match, just cheese it, get it over with? Or are you going to go and be like, yeah, let's play the macro game, man. Let's see how well you do. Now, both players are going ahead here and getting double gas right away. Now, as someone who doesn't necessarily follow, like, or I should say not follow, I do follow the meta styles, but I don't play them. I like to play very off-the-wall styles, so this is where I would go in Proxy 2 racks. Proxy 2 racks is possibly my favorite idea ever, and generally keeps people on their toes. You know, in a best of 3 series, doing that in TVT, I just tried to catch people off guard quite a bit because won't expect it the first time, but definitely not expect a Proxy 2 racks the second time around. It's a very well practiced trade route that can be very, very easily countered. It's just a matter of when a factory comes out or how many Marines come out in time before the first 2 Reapers show up. But now you do have both players opting for some Marines, opting for some tanks. That looks like a factory on the way. So it looks like we could just see like a one-base tank push come out here very shortly. Or maybe just some Marines and Cyclones. Yep, there we go. Cyclones are on the production tab. Marines are being built. So now we can see some aggression come out right out of the gate here with just Marines and Cyclones into his opponent's army of 1 Cyclone and Marines. So far, you know, mirror builds. The extra Cyclone could be the key factor of what decides this game very quickly if they do decide to go for this aggression of just a Marine Cyclone push. Personally, if I do something like this, I'm going to add in a second barracks and at least keep my Marine production up, so that way, when you do push out, you'll have a little bit more Marine count, a little bit more in the Cyclone department. Now, we do have 4 Cyclones, or 4 Marines, 5 Marines, and a Cyclone moving out across the map. Cyclone is moving ahead. Armies are just going to kind of walk right by each other. Balling that Marine ball back up there. That Terran ball. Do you see it? Yeah, he does see it. He has to know something's up now. Oh, that's a free Cyclone. Don't get away. Just go for it. Your opponent has rallied the army across the map. There's nothing back home to defend but 1 Cyclone and 1 Marine. Get up there, DPS it. We'll save the Cyclone, but just barely. So now our yellow Terran here is going to get to work on this reactor and open up. Now the reactor does have less health. A Cyclone repair coming down here. He's going to get to work on the factory. Kill the depots. Worry about the depots, not the factory, because you want to kill that factory. That's not your biggest concern. You supply cap your opponent. You don't get any. He doesn't build any army. Tank out here for ZZX though. Reggie's going to be in. He is going to break the front here very, very easily. He's going to have to repair that tank. Oh. Talk about a cringe fest there, you know, all you had to do is repair the tank and you win the game. Or we win that fight. I should say you win the game, but you'll definitely win that fight. Some units derping up here in the main base. They want to come down and join this fight. They can't. They be trapped. Doors are open now. The choo-choo train on the way. You know, the Thomas the Tank Engine face all over that there. Just... all you hear when you see Cyclones moving across the map, so Thomas the Tank Engine theme. Just Command center gonna come down and get repaired up once again. Now, you do have another tank out, sure. You have 4 Marines. Now here's the problem with this. You're repairing a command center, it's about to get sniped. You're committing resources here to mine at this location when 3 more cyclones show up, and yep, they do this right here. Just kill the command center! Why are you trying to push up the ramp into a tank and marine ball? Why are you trying to push down the ramp? I'm so confused about this TVT here, like... Make your opponent fight into you. I mean, you caused this expansion to be basically killed twice. It's not there, gone, it's there, but you... Okay, well, you know... Repair up the cyclones, yep. Commit that mineral, that gas. Getting units built, repaired. That's one reason why I don't repair much as Terran. I know I should, but like, as a Terran, I just feel as I could better put those 2 or 3 resources that get eaten up for like help there. Go push right in the front to the tank count. I can't even finish a sentence right now in this matchup. It's just, yeah, we're just gonna walk into a tank. Here's a tank. There's more tanks. Marines and Cyclones disappear on both sides, and we're back to a macro game. I mean, it's TVT. Hey Pope, I've done that proxy too much. It's because it's a very solid build. Like it just works, and you can very easily macro back out. You just gotta understand, like for the proxy 2 racks, if your opponent gets any kind of factory unit out or gets too much out that you can handle, cancel, go home, build your own factory. Simple as that. Get your tank started. You're pretty much set and ready to go. That's how you proxy 2 racks with Reapers, guys. We do have a medevac drop coming out around the outside edge of this map here. They're going to head up here and drop into the back of this main base. Trying to find some SCV damage. Now the SCV count is in favor of zzx here. zzxbx, as his in-game name is called. Reggie trying to get called up here. His army supply at 26. ZZ is like definitely ahead here, like every factory. He's got his tech out. He's getting upgrades. You know, he's getting to the air tech. Has a second factory added on. And all this aggression from Reggie, like, is definitely one that didn't need to happen. Like, he committed a lot of resources that could better have been spent getting into his own tech, getting the expansions up, you know, and being ready for that late game. However, now, we do have 2 medevacs get ready to make their way into the main base, into an already very mineral-starved Terran. Gonna drop right in the mineral line. SCVs are going to start to fall. He just picked off about 2 or 3 there right away. Now he's going to come down here and fight the army of... Reggie should actually be able to hold here very easily. Ooh, he's going to get to eBay. eBay might get picked off here. Cyclone not getting a lock on these medevacs. One of those medevacs probably would have ended up actually getting picked off. He's going to rotate around here and go down into the main bit natural. Try and find some more damage. Once again, he's just going to unload, but the Marines are already on the way over. TVT, my friends. It's just, this is what it is. Marine drops, tanks. And here we go. He's just going to get the medevacs out of here. Very good call to get the medevacs out of there. He did some economic damage, and he knows that the medevacs are the key units to keep alive here. As we are going to start to move into the later stages of this TVT matchup, third bases should start to be added on. More tanks are being added on. So ZZ is definitely in a favorable position to win this. However, Reggie is just definitely getting his Marine count up. Stim is done for both players. We are going to start to move, like I said, into the later stages of this game. No third base on the way just yet. +1 combat shields on the way here for Reggie. Trying to get caught up in that upgrade department. His earlier aggression not really helping him in any way, shape, or form. Tanks are unsieged. A scan being thrown down to see what kind of army his opponent has, and, well, he should go. Yep, there it goes. Take the medevacs. Hey, you're going to need these. Yo, medevacs. Army went that way. Army went this way. Guess they don't want to heal their buddies anymore. Terrible day when your medevacs are on strike as a Terran player. You know, is this going to be one of them nightmarish situations when you walk over here and there's medevacs healing your opponent's army and you don't have any healing. You're going to stim and go up this ramp and try to take a fight here with the stim and damage your own units. And he didn't stim. Very good control. What to say? You might just stim this and go. But Reggie trading out some army supply that he didn't need for nothing. Apparently, he just didn't need those few Marines. They weren't important. Stim here trying to catch one of these Liberators. Now that he does have the high ground vision with these Liberators, but this is one of the moments where you back your tanks up or siege up the Liberator, please. Tanks can see or shoot further than they see as long as they have the vision. This is one of the situations where you are getting the damage done with this lone tank. The hero tank. Up here on the high ground. Actually, can you actually see all the way down there? No, the medevacs would give him that extra vision range, but now he can see it. Scan being thrown down here. He doesn't have a scan. He does manage to pick off the tank. He's just going to stim up the ramp. He does have the tanks here. There is a tank on the high ground still here for Reggie to clean up the last of the bio forces. It's like that. Now we're back down to back her up, back home. Get some more tanks. Get some more Marines. That attack didn't go well. Welcome to TVT, where we trade army trying to kill off our opponent in a bad position to fight. Our bases are coming down here. Plus 2 on the way, and this is just going to be tanks, Vikings, and Marines in the end. And this is why TVT kind of gets a bad rep as being kind of boring to watch in some cases. I mean, it's a gentleman's game, basically. You play it in a sense of basically just macro up, get your tanks, a lot of positional based fighting. You don't want to be the one to take a bad fight and lose those 2 tanks, or you don't want to lose all your Vikings and air control. And there's just a lot that goes into it that is definitely a factor in terms of like, how well you take these games, how well you play your TVT. Like, as I said, in the past, guys, I've gotten to the point where I just don't play the game anymore. If I get to a situation where I can win the game with a nuke, I'll win the game with a nuke. But if I get to a situation where it's like, I am just tired of TVT, it's time to proxy all day. Proxies are the way to go in TVT. You don't ever want to let your opponent get to those late stages of the game. We have a drop in the main base as the rest of the army was loaded up of Reggie and is making its way around to the northeast side of the map. This is getting a lot of damage on. There is a tank here. Oh, don't walk the tanks in. Don't walk the tanks in. Okay. Walk the tanks. Walk the Marines in here. Say, that would just be a disaster situation waiting to happen. Where is the Doom Drop of Reggie? Reggie about to make the Beyond mistake and boost some medevacs in here into his opponent's base where it could very easily get trapped. This is what caused Beyond going to the, honestly, BlizzCon this past year. Is he tried for a drop like this? And he got trapped and he couldn't do anything. But here we go. Cyclone gets picked off. It's also kind of what caused innovation the game against TY is he made a bad positioning mistake. And TVT no less. He's trying to get that third base. He's going to have to pick up and get on out of here with the Vikings. They're going to be able to start knocking down these medevacs. 1 medevac full of Marines fall. 2 medevacs full of Marine fall. And a little bit late boost there cost the Marines a lot of their buddies. Now you're just seeing that medevac right now. Those Marines flying away and the armchair, like cursing the general. Sitting in that armchair right now playing this game. Going, why, man? Why would you do this to us? Getting some SCVs back up in the main now is Reggie. Did not mind going once again. However, we do have ZZ moving out with +2 on the way. And he's adding in medevacs here, so or more Vikings. Medevacs being added in for Reggie now. With no medevacs in the army of ZZ at all, there's 2 medevacs in. I bet you're still in the same place. Where are the medevacs? They had army in them. Where are they? Out here in the corner, doing nothing with about 11 army supply tied up in there. You know, all right. It's alright, we don't need that 9 army supply. This is going to push forward here. Now there is an army in position here to defend this aggression, but it's mostly Marines and medevacs. And against tanks and Vikings, this is not going to be enough here. One tank going to get taken out immediately. Liberator going to siege up, but the rest of the tanks just going to chew up that bio. Vikings going to be able to start knocking down these medevacs, knock down that Liberator. And from here, guys, there's just nothing left. There's nothing left here for our Terran player in purple. That should be it for game number 1. I mean, The army supply lead is definitely in ZZ's favor. What do you have? You have Marines about to pop out. You have no tanks on the way. And this is just ZZ sitting here saying, thanks for playing, bro. That's game number 1. In the bag. Now, who's to say Reggie doesn't come back next game, you know, just reverse sweep 2-0. SCV is running away frantically as the natural gets evacuated. And it's not going to matter if you lose all your production. And GG is going to get called out. Game number 1 going to zzxbx. And we'll be right back with you guys for game number 2 in this best of 3 TVT. That's right, I didn't actually add these in. Where is game number 2, guys? I did game number 2. That's game 3. This is game. And here we go for game number 2. I decided I'm not going to stop recording, so I'll make another video. That's just eating up space. Make one big video. Eat up space. Anyway, for game number 2, we do have this guy right here in purple down 1-0 in the series. Looking to take this game to game number 3 and possibly close the series up there on Odyssey LE. It is indeed Reggie. And his opponent in the bottom right hand corner. Holding off some cyclone pressure. It really didn't get much done. It is zzxbx. Or Zuler, as he goes by. Here we go. Just TVT. Once again, both players, you know, just going to go ahead and get their supply depots started, because why not? It's Odyssey. This big map. A lot of micro potential, or macro potential. Looking like they want to play very mirrored builds once again. And, you know, that's very respectable. Like, a lot of players will be like, oh man, I just lost that last game. You know, it's the best of 3 series. I could easily lose this game. Well, should I throw something against the wall here and hope it works? Or should I just kind of like, you know, play the same game I just did and see if I can't come out on top as a better player in this game? You have gold bases on Odyssey LE. Look for these to be a factor in the later stages of this TVT. Not sure if his name is Reggie or Regee. Like Regee, like, you know, R-E, and, you know, never mind. Anyway, so let's just go right back to it. We do have Reaper. Eric's finishing up. 1 Reaper on the way. A factory immediately added on. See, this is why I like the proxy 2 racks, because the proxy 2 racks, hey, guess what? You're scouting across the map. Buildings right here, the Reapers are in your base. Now, once I get in there, I deny your factory from being built, and that's it. You lose the game just like that, because you don't have a factory unit. You're relying on Marines to close out the game. And you're going to have to pull your SCVs while mine are mining. It's such a solid build. It's a very risky build, but it is a very solid build. Reaper going to pop out here. It's going to head right on across the map. The Supply Depot not going to go down here to wall off. But zzx is going to get to work on this SCV trying to build that factory. He sees what his opponent is up to. Reaper expanding. Taking that second gas. He's going to come back. Uses Reaper to defend. As he sits there lazily letting the SCV kind of take apart that factory. He'll end up killing it. But yeah, TVT once again. Let's see what kind of cringe fest we have on the main ramps. For the base main ramps. You know, that sort of thing. We have a cycle on the way out here. Widowmine follow up, however, instead. Now with the Widowmine changes, I've kind of gravitated away from doing any kind of crazy Widowmine shenanigans, except in like TVP. You know, you get Widowmine drop and pick them up and get it out of there. You just save the Widowmine. But we'll just see what happens here. I mean, Starport on the way, so it looks like he is going to go for that Widowmine drop. Also, I'm not sure if the change for the last patch went through yet. I don't know if it's going at the end of December. I'm not sure what they decided on that. Reaper trying to hide here. Just picked off. But the Widowmine build times have gone down from like 29 seconds to like 21 and a half. It's like a 7-second difference now in the time it takes for a Widowmine to pop out. Where is the medevac? Okay, no medevac. He is getting Widowmine on the low ground. to defend against the cyclone pressure. He's kind of reading into his opponent, I guess. You know, he tried this last game. See if he does it again. The Widow Mine will not fire just yet. Oh, don't take the fight outside of your Widow Mine. You don't want to do that. You want the mine to connect. But ZZ did poke up in there and see that he does have a Widow Mine down. So he's just going to go on home. Yeah, man, I am not going to take a silly fight here and give you an early advantage. I mean, I'm just going home. Get my own stuff. Get my own expansion up. Now, the expansion for Reggie here was up before. So he does have it mining a little bit more of an economic advantage. You know, you did have to wait for that low ground one to finish as zzx. Tanks are added in, so we do have Cyclone tanks being added on. No air just yet. Oh, is there a drop I'm missing here? No, this medevac is scouting around, making sure there's nothing hanging out around here. Those sneaky surprises left hanging around. Scan being thrown down to see where the army is. This is clever. He boosts his medevac out and it's empty. He's just going to bring it back. Now, this is pretty clever. He's kind of mind-gaming his opponent here. Like, he says, okay, you just loaded up army in that medevac. I'm going to go. We'll just push across the map right now and take a fight. But in reality, the entire army of Reggie is back home, ready to defend. There is a Widow Mine out here. First tanks of purple are going to get the first salvo in, but there's 2 tanks versus 1. He will pick off the Cyclone. He will pick off some Marines. But he's going to lose his tank. Now, there is still plenty here for Reggie to clean this up with. He's adding on a Hellion. Might have been a miscue, maybe? I'm not sure. The Marines are going to pop out here. What am I going to get triggered? Like that Widow Mine is going to fire and be picked off. Now, he is going to press forward. Now, I imagine he's going to pick these Marines up and drop them on the tanks. There's only 4 Marines here. Is he going to catch his army unsieged and pick it off that way, or he's just going to let him walk away? That's not an option too. You just let your opponent walk away, you know. I guess the saying goes, you know, if your opponent's making a mistake, don't interrupt them. I mean, I'm going to scan and see if the army has left. So, I mean, after that little scuffle, Purple is in the lead in terms of resources lost. He only lost a tank, a Widow Mine, and a Reaper versus, you know, the Cyclone of 5 Marines. We are just going to start to get into, you know, again, the later stages of the game. Now, we did see ZZ come out on top in the later stages. Adding on the tanks, adding on the Liberators, so he will be able to push out and pressure once again. Stim is on the way. +1 attack is on the way for Reggie, so the upgrades are looking to be in his favor here very shortly. Both players are now finishing up Stim. Stim's one upgrade I feel you should get earlier, as soon as you can. And by the way, if you are scared of like some kind of Reaper shenanigans or proxy shenanigans, just open up Marauder. Marauder with Concussor Shell does get you your Stim as well. These armies are actually going to bypass each other and walk right by. A scan being thrown down to see where the army is of his opponent. We're going to have a base trade. Here it comes. Purple has moved out. Light army supply lead. And so you looking like you want to expand there. Liberators are just going to siege up here. Going to get to work on picking off these Marines. Going to siege up outside of the opponent's base. Meanwhile, Reggie's just going to go for it as well. He's got to go. He can't come back. He can't walk back at this point. He has to commit here. There's only 1 tank out there defending. That is exactly what he's going to do. He's going to commit to the base trade. He's going to let this command center get it on out of here. The tank count back home, the Liberator count back home on his side of the map is in favor of his opponent. But the Marine DPS is everything here. He's just going to be able to walk right up this ramp, pick off that tank, start picking off production. And just start picking up everything he can here in damage. With the Marine DPS being where it's at and he having the +1 upgrade, this goes in his favor very easily. The tanks are going to get in here. He walls off the high ground. Liberator going to siege up on top. Tanks are being picked off slowly. There's just not enough here. He cannot... ZZ cannot kill his opponent at this point in time. That's going to be it. He's going to lift his natural base and try and, I guess, move it somewhere else to go mine elsewhere. He does have the mineral in the bank now to build another expansion, but a lot of SCVs are going to sacrifice their lives here. And this is where Platinum players start to get a little bit salty in terms of losing a base trade. They try to drag the game out, and it just doesn't ever work. Like, especially when you're the player coming from behind, you have some army, you have Liberators and tanks. but you don't have anything else. So this would be pretty funny if this main base gets floated all the way up. No, it's going to land just outside this expansion in the top right corner. What is up, Andy, man? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, you got us in the middle of a base trade, man. Like, as a player coming from behind here, ZZ doesn't win this game. Hands down, he does not win this game. All his opponent has to do is now march north, and that's it. He has all of one SCV hiding out in the corner, holding some juicy gas. Don't drink that, buddy. It's not alcohol. But I mean, is it alcohol? Is Vespine alcohol? Would Vespine be considered alcohol? You know, could you drink it? Blizzard, thanks for the answer. I mean, it's gas, so I don't think he would be able to. Reggie's gonna just go ahead and float his buildings all out of here. I mean, he's got the bigger army. All he has to do is march back, kill his opponent's army, and this game will indeed be over. He does find the expansion or the main base, the natural base, wanting to land at this gold base location, so he does know where his opponent has expanded. And he will go ahead and march some SCVs up into this top right corner where his opponent wants to start mining. Start attacking with the SCVs, you know, just fight with them. There we go. Oh, that's awkward. Yeah, man, what's up? We're just gonna hang here while you guys mine mineral. It's okay, right? But we'll share the mineral love, man. Just share the minerals. Liberator's trying to lock out the army of Reggie here, but it's not gonna work. I mean, you're on the wrong side. There's no tanks here at all. The tanks are not even with this army. GG, gonna get called out. That's gonna tie the series up at 1 apiece. What's up, Alex? Welcome to the stream as well, man. Yeah, there is a mission, guys, where you do mine Terrazine for the guy who's like, hi. Stepman is his name, Stepman. Alright, we're gonna go ahead into game number 3, guys, of this series. Now, this has been a very entertaining TVT. We've had a base trade. We've had a very one-sided game 1. Now we're gonna get into a game number 2. Or game number 3, I should say. We're going to Ire. It's spawning into the bottom right-hand corner. Buying the series up 1 apiece. Looking to close the series out, you know. Both players on elimination point. It is Reggie. I'm going with Reggie, guys, because I don't know if it's Regee type deal, you know. So Reggie is his name. Get over it. And in the bottom or top left-hand corner of Ire, the yellow Terran pieces of zzxbx. Alex, you got here late, man. Thank you, Andy, man. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that comment. Get you on the happy hour bar. Oh, for sure, mate. I would definitely appreciate that. By the way, if you want to join in with the JSL casting team, by all means, you are more than welcome to. We do have, you know, this TVT once again. Game 3. You know, this series went to 3. I definitely would love to see some nukes. I'm sure Andy Man here would love to see nukes as well. And by the way, Andy Man, there is a game I did send you. I do need to switch some things up. If you wouldn't mind, bring in the new year with some explosive party nukes. The TVZ, very entertaining TVZ. I didn't want to take a bad fight, but anyway. So anyway, we just have both players, you know, getting their expansions up or getting the main bases up and running. Early games of TVT. Oh, you're moving? Oh, that's nice. Are you like buying a new house? Are you renting? Or are you? What's going on there? I know this is a recording as well, but like I just, you know, I want to interact with the chat a bit. So I've been hanging around since the DT games, just playing Stardew. Fair enough, fair enough. Your series was against Heist Washer, I do believe it was, and I may have accidentally deleted that game. I'm not sure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight it out and make it a segment and find a way of exporting it from my Twitch to JSL. Oh, okay, so you own a condo? That's nice. Getting a house with the GF. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that nowadays. Loco is as well. Loco's a great guy, man. I get to meet him in like person. Got to talk to him a little bit about the Sue versus Rogue at BlizzCon. You know, it's always fun to be able to meet people like that. I did get some photos taken with like Neeb and Laser and Snoop. All three of them together. It was very entertaining times. Even ran into an old, I guess you could say, like, person I met before, Winter. Talked to him for a bit. The BlizzCon, if you guys ever get the opportunity to go, definitely go to a BlizzCon. Like, that's probably the craziest times you'll ever have at a con like that. Like 50,000 people all there for things you love. You definitely tell the last year has definitely had like a higher ticket sale. Cause yeah, like what was it? The arena where StarCraft was completely sold out. Like it was blown out for Overwatch. Anyway, enough of my personal life here. Let's get back to the game. We do have natural expansions coming down for both players, and once again, we do have zzxbx wanting to move out here with this similar composition he used before. Now, if Reggie wow, Reggie is reading into this. This is like game 5, like 10th game so far here. You're starting to get that dry throat a little bit, but anyway. Reggie definitely defended this very well last time. The Widowmine in an excellent zoning position here in the center. So there's not any real way to sneak around. The Cyclone needs to be careful. It does tank that Widowmine shot, so that is going to put that Cyclone in there. Kind of like the red line on your speedometer there, mate. You just careful. Might blow something up here. Get rid of that Cyclone, and he's just going to go on home. He's not going to continue to commit to that. This is going to prompt. Now, this is a little bit different. This is something different here out of Reggie. The last time, he just kind of turtled up a little bit and made his opponent have to back up and win a base trade. This time, he is going to go ahead for a Cyclone drop. You know, some Marine Cyclones. Why not? He's getting his tanks production started as well. Either player getting into too crazy attack right now. Just tanks, getting their upgrades started, getting their upgrades on point here. Getting that +1 attack. Is Stim done? Stim hasn't even started, so they're getting that +1 attack out first. There is a tank here that can defend the natural, so I don't see this drop getting too much damage done. Now we do have an engineering base and stuff like that being already added on, so yep, already covered the upgrades. But yeah, we just get into the waiting stages of TVT to see who decides to get the first damage done. Now the tank is in great position here to defend his drop. Gonna have to pick one up and get out of here. He does pick up a couple SCVs there. 3 SCVs kill with that little drop, so finding a little bit of damage. It's the little bits, man. It's the little things in life to add up. That's what will get you in the end. It's like sometimes it's the little things that win you the game. Sometimes it's the big things. You know, one fella swoop like a nuke. Everybody loves nukes. So, in return favor, you know, you drop me, I'll drop you. So ZZ is going to move out with a quite a hefty Doom drop. And, oh, dropping into the range of that tank. I mean, okay, sure. I kind of disagree with that. You know, you were able to heal through that tank damage, but you did lose your Marine. You did find some worker kills. Gotta keep an eye on this drop. It's currently making its way around the top part of the map, though. This could be a doozy. You know, this one could get in here. There's no missile turrets to defend. There are a couple tanks. The Widowmine kind of in the wrong position. He's gonna boost right on in here. Easy is gonna boost right on in with his drop. Could find some good damage here, actually. Or, you know, it might be the reverse order where he winds up losing everything. But as this drop does make its way in here, he hasn't boosted just yet. They do have their afterburners lit. They're going to kick the tires and light the fires as they boost in. Okay, he's not going to boost it. He's just going to drop from the corner. Siege that tank up, forces his opponent to fight into range of that tank. Reggie's tank is actually out of range. So it's not getting everything it could. It's up to the Marines to focus on that tank, and now he has to dance out of range of Reggie's tank. So ZZ is definitely finding the damage, trying to focus on SCVs. This drop is very much dead. And with a dead drop, Terran players, stop microing the dead drop. You can try your heart out to get that one last kill, but you're going to lose Medevacs now too. Why you do this? This is like, what are you, drunk? Medevacs, fly away. You just stop drinking all that Vespine gas. You know, he does get them all out of there. We go back into kind of that lull once again. Reggie gonna be the one to step up to say, yeah, mate, I'm gonna take that third base, though. I want the economic advantage. You're gonna go ahead and scan now. Army supply isn't Zz's favorite, or Reggie's favorite here. Go ahead and push out across the map. Tanks are in position. I don't like... Fuck. Your opponent has showed he's moving his entire army out one direction, basically. And you're gonna siege a tank up to defend, like, the main base. Just put some missile turrets up, guys. Like, seriously, that's all you gotta do. A missile turret here, a missile turret there. Keeps the doctor away, you know? A turret a day keeps the doctor away. There's a lot of medevacs here, also, so, you know... The Viking here could definitely be a deciding factor in this, because you are going to be able to knock down that vision eventually. Marines having a brawl out here in the middle of the map, playing Little King of the Hill while the rest of the army walks on by. Here we go, tanks are going to siege up. Going to get to knock it on that bar. That Vespine bar. Medevacs need to be careful. Want to get too far ahead here. You don't want to walk into that tank's line either. And this is where TVT starts to reach a stalemate, because now you got to figure out how to break your opponent. Who has tanks? And well, this is one way. But he doesn't have... Oh, this tank spread actually is going to be... Might actually give ZZ the game now that I think about it. Just going to load everything up and get on out of here. He's dodging the scan. He's going to go for the main. Now, everything is still sieged up in the natural. The tanks are in position here to defend this, so he should be able to defend very, very easily. But there's nothing here to catch a lot of this army. As they see, tanks are going to siege up. Some Marines jumping out a little bit too impromptu. Try to be them heroes and get boots on the ground first. Here they are. They are going to keep pushing forward. Tanks are finally joining in the fight. He's going to lift up everything. The Marines are going to stem right to the tank line. The tanks on the low ground joining in the fight. It's a meat grinder here. There's nothing left. He's got to unsiege these tanks to get on out of here. Throwing away all those Marines' lives. You know, Marine life matters, man. Marine life matters. As more purple units will march across the map. Now, he did supply cap his opponent. He knocked down some depots, you know, so no army can be built, and all the production is still lifted as easy. But meanwhile, the drop on the other side of the map is going to cause some lost mining time. zzx is going to go ahead and pick on up and head into the main himself. We are kind of seeing a base trade, but it looks like, wow, wait, Reggie's going to bring everything back to defend? It's actually a very smart move, so it's a smart decision making from both players here, but stem forward in a heartbeat. There are Marines with healing factor in here. Tanks are going to be able to knock these down as well. I'm starting to favor ZZ's mission. He's just going to drop the tanks though. Okay, so he's going to drop the tanks, you know, knock down the siege tank. It's going to go ahead and be it there. As far as that drop goes, the rest of that army is going to get cleaned up. Now, he does have tanks back home. A lot of his production was still floating in the air. And now I'm starting to really not like ZZ's position. Mainly because he's on 2 base. His main base is oversaturated. Going to start mining out here very soon. Well, it's on 3. Now this is Reggie's game to lose here. Also his game to win. It's very ambidextrous term. You know, like it's your game to throw. It's your game to, you know, fly out win. He's going to siege out Widow Mine, get into a better position here to defend against any other kind of crazy drops. I have to look around the map a little bit while we just wait for some action to happen. There's like all these temples and stuff around the map. Like the map, like developers of maps, like the, you know, the people who design them are like really well done. Like they do really good jobs in maps, adding details around the map here and there. Thanks, guys. Seriously, thanks for the compliments on the casting. I definitely would like feedbacks. You know, just anything I could do better. Solo casting is definitely something I've kind of gotten well versed at doing. We do have a bit of a lull here once again. We got tanks are going to push into his third base. This could be some damage to find his way back into the game. But his opponent is getting a force behind this. He is going to lift his command center and get it out of here. SCV is going to make their way back into that natural base. Going to oversaturate and just kind of hang out. At least put him back to work mining. I mean, long distance mine from your fourth. That's something you could do as well. Army supply is surprisingly enough is very even right now. For the economy advantage that Reggie has, I would like to see him add on a few more barracks, add on some more factories, you know, maybe a couple more command centers, get the orbitals fired up. That way you don't have to worry about so much in the SCVs. You just fire down the mules and you have scans for days. Also, checking for his opponent's army, sees that it does come down to that third base location. He just kind of pulls it back. This is actually starting to be a very entertaining game. Like, a lot of like shuffling around here with these units, trying to find that position to get them the edge, to get them into a situation. Now, zzx knows that that drop has been favoring him in finding some damage, so he's just going to go for it. He's going to bypass the third, slip right behind that army. Gonna get right on top here. There's a Widow Mine. The Widow Mine! I'm speechless. That's definitely not what you want to be doing when you're playing from behind. It's throwing away even more units. More units. Need more units. More units to their doom. And we do have a medevac drop coming around here to this third base. It is morphing into a planetary. It's going to have to probably be repaired to stay alive here. SCVs are going to have to be pulled immediately. The planetary will finish. Will end up being able to hold. But not before these poor SCVs sacrifice themselves trying to keep the mineral bank rolling. Marines versus planetary. What are these upgrades? 2-2? I mean, they could definitely kill it. With another medevac drop. Could definitely, you know, add in a couple more medevacs there. So we're reaching that 15-minute mark in this TVT. You know, this is where things start to, you know, wind down and become later stages as you'll see the upgrades and armies start to max out again. Again, I'm definitely liking the army composition of the zzx, but it's a very positional based army. Reggie finally getting that mineral bank spent, and he is adding in tanks of his own. You take a look at the tank count. The tank count is 13-6, so it's a very positional based army here in terms of zzx's composition. A lot of tanks are still back home and not with the army, so he's trying to keep the army spread out. Sieging up these tanks, and he's actually going to be able to siege these up, and the army was not able to jump on top of these tanks before they sieged up. And this is going to allow him to encroach very heavily on some positioning here. Stem forward from these Marines! You going to stem another ball in? Yep, just sacrificing the Marines. Tanks just chewing up. The kill count is climbing. 11 kills in that tank, 9 kills in this tank. A Marine running by front of the back is going to get cleaned up. And just like that, zzx gets a win. But isn't enough to keep him in this game. He's going to have to start to bring the rest of his army over to hold that position he's got. Scans being thrown down on both sides here. The tank not getting picked off. You definitely don't need to be wasting scans when you have the Viking, because you do have the air advantage. It's same with this many medevacs. Like, one Viking is not going to be able to kill off that many medevacs faster than those tanks will be able to start to chew up any kind of army that your opponent has on the ground. 15 kills on this tank here, 14 kills there, 18 kills here. I mean, army supply is definitely evening out, but now we get to the stages of the game where upgrades are going to matter. So we are at a situation where upgrades are back here. Okay, so it's 2-2 with +1 tank weapons, 2-1 +1 attack infantry weapons, and combat shield and stim. Again, this is where, when I'm playing from behind as a Terra player, you're about to hear some very interesting insight here. As this fight happens, here we go. Tanks are going to siege up and fire away at this army. Now tanks, even without upgrades, still do a hell of a ton of damage. And it is enough to just clean up this army on the low ground. It's just starting to look more and more like a mech composition than anything else out of zzx here. He's got the Vikings in the mix. He's got tanks in the mix. Will he actually win this? I mean, will Reggie throw here? The army is all here for zzx. Like, if he has army back home, Marines are going to stem forward on top of these tanks and try and clean them up. He's going to continue to walk forward. Oh my gosh, this was Reggie's game to win. And I think he's going to throw, guys. And of course, this could be cast a curse here. Sieging and unsieging these tanks and continuing to stem like this is definitely hurting him. He has the medevac's not healing the last few Marines. He's frantically trying to get production out of here. What a scrappy game this has been. Now the fourth base is going to move over to his new location to start mining here. But there's no army out. Where's the army? It's mostly these medevacs. The medivacs are going to fly in here and unload on these tanks. Now, this could be exactly what gets them and saves them here. I mean, catching these tanks on sieging does clean up the last of the tanks. A couple of medivacs left there, but hold on the phone. There is still more bio marching across the map. More tanks marching across the map. I feel the best situation here is just to keep pumping out Marines. You just completely wipe your opponent's army that has superior upgrades. I mean, you're just giving them time. All he has to do now is build Marines, though. I mean, Reggie almost threw that game out the water. The way out in the pond. He couldn't swim out there. It's too deep to go out and get it. As he is going to clean up these tanks very easily. zzx finding some huge damage there. But please tell me this game isn't going to go any longer. Reggie. Just go, man. You could go and kill your opponent so easily now. Just nothing. It's mostly tied up into... He can't even build out his factories. He doesn't have the gas for it. You know, he has nothing. Oversaturation and natural even. Like, just get some gas going, and zzx's position, you'll be in good shape. But the rallies going around the map here, like, a lot of people just... Or a lot of it, like, already just kind of aimlessly wandering around, trying to find positions. Scans being thrown down everywhere to find out exactly what his opponent has. Does he have another base? This Marine ball. Looking to be that hero Marine ball. I mean, he's even expanding to the north again. Like, as the wise man once said, when you're ahead, get further ahead. The wise words of the ostrich. Of course, no, that's not it. I mean, I forget exactly which caster said that, but you know, it is definitely a word that a lot of players will live by. When you're ahead, get further ahead. Gonna rotate up here to defend these new mining locations in the north, as there is army marching over here to try and knock these down. Again, now, after all was said and done, after that damage was done, what zzx should have been doing was getting upgrades. You know, he had position, he overextended quite a bit there and lost his army. This Doom Drop going to be able to find a lot of damage, however, forcing this 5th to be lifted out of here. Going to get it on out of here. You're going to send it on home. Going to actually pull out both bases. Okay. This command center should just end up falling, though. As the roof is on fire, it burns down. Going to go ahead and rotate these SCVs on up here to start mining at this new base. Okay, or just bypass that base and go to this base. I guess they like this base better. But interestingly enough, eventually this Doom Drop into main tower is getting quite a bit of damage. So I was going to say, eventually these expansions will kind of bump into each other. But all this production is basically going to be lost as ZZ's army is across the map, getting caught horribly out of position. This Doom Drop going to be able to pick up a lot of production as upgrades still 2-2 to that +1 in combat shields. I understand playing from behind, and usually when I play from behind, you go for the Hail Marys a turn and bring in a nuke. Rip stream. Don't tell me the stream died. Don't say that. Please don't say that. Generally, it's probably something on my end, like upload, you know, Comcast, that net neutrality thing coming into play. Always get like 6 workers, 60 or plus viewers, and then bam, just out of nowhere, the stream starts going haywire. And well, ZZ is definitely trying to tuck in here, get his production back together, you know, trying to stay in the game. He's having to rebuild depots. Both players have the bank to just do whatever at this point. Got a command center in the south here, not mining. It is going to get scouted as soon as these Marines see these SCVs. He is going to be able to sniff that out. Like I said, this has turned into a pretty scrappy game all in all as we reach the 21-minute mark. Reggie's just going to march his army across the map and continue to kill off the last bits of production in the main base. And start to work his way south. You know, he's got his opponent trapped in the corner. At this point in time, there's no way you can get the, like a nuke out or anything. Like, I wanted to see a nuke in the series. Like, it would have been beautiful to see a nuke. Because nuking a Terran army is just like the most enjoyable thing ever. It says a lot about the caster, though. It says a lot about me, though, right? Anyway, step forward. You're going to be able to clean up all these tanks. That's going to be the last of the yellow army. You will see Planetary Fortress going to try and hold strong, but GG is going to be called out. Or not. And that's going to be it for that group, guys. That's going to be the replay from this group. That is indeed going to be it. I need a break. I'm gonna get me some water. Throat is a little bit dry.